Hey, Digital Collective 828. This is Rashina.
And Sean,
Listen, we're back. We missed you guys last week. It was Resurrection Sunday, and we were out celebrating, and so we did not get to record our video, but we are back. We missed you guys.
we definitely miss y'all. I hate that we couldn't do a video last week, but we back tonight.
Yes, and we have a lot of information to share regarding all of the. Now, I always get tongue twisted or tongue tied. 222 coins. Did I get it? I got
That's
it.
correct.
I'm so proud of
That's
it.
correct.
Okay. All right. So we're going to jump right in. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so we're going to go back a little bit. So on our Sunday weekly updates, you know that we give you several days of like important information that we feel you should be aware of. So let's go. We're going to go back all the way to April 1st. So let's jump right in there, where XRP and Coinbase launches XRP futures.
Mm-hmm.
So there are future contracts, and in simple terms, future contract is like betting on whether XRP's price will go up or down in the future without actually having to buy the cryptocurrency itself. So investors can make bets in regular dollars, and that's significant, right? Sean, you got something to
Hey,
add to that?
yeah, I was gonna wait till you finish. I didn't know
Okay.
if you were finished or not, but yes,
Okay.
that's on point. You know, for Coinbase to come out and do this, that tells me it's a lot of other companies coming down the road is gonna start doing the same thing. And what we already know what that means. When that means the XRP name gonna be out there more and more. Other country, other. Hey, I'm happy. I'm glad Coinbase was the first one, which is a United States
All right.
company. So that's good.
So and it's officially approved by the CFTC. So that's awesome.
Oh wow, they not playing. It seems like everything is moving so fast. I mean, I know we at the towards the end of April. I mean, tomorrow's the
Right at
28th,
it.
and it seems like everything is playing out perfectly for XRP. I just can't
Mhm.
wait for to May and June to see what's new, or what more gonna come down the road.
Right, right. Who knows? We have had plenty of major announcements from January through April. So listen, and they all have been in the right direction, pushing crypto forward. So
Yep,
it's amazing.
positive.
Positive news, right? So this one is very, very exciting. So this is regarding XLM, right? And so that's on the Stellar Network, and XLM is focused on cross-border payments and enabling financial access for the unbanked. So this is for XLM. This is on the 21st. There was an announcement of an XLM and MoneyGram partnership where Stellar partnered with MoneyGram and a crypto wallet called Arculus, and that's Arculus. So this partnership allows people to walk into one of the 444,000 MoneyGram locations worldwide and hand over cash and receive digital dollars, USDC, on their Stellar wallet. They can also convert their digital money back into cash at these locations. And this is important because it makes crypto currency accessible to people without bank accounts, and it bridges the gap between physical cash and digital money. So it gives Stellar a real world use case that helps just everyday people.
What it sounds like to me is crypto about to go mainstream. If MoneyGram is actually doing that, and this is my first time hearing that, and they're allowing people to come in and do that, their customers, that's
Mhm.
major. That is really
Mhm.
because I don't see much longer for it. I guess they'll be doing everything through cryptocurrency.
Right. You could just go into, like I said, go into one of the 444,000, give them your currency and get USDC on your wallet. And then go back in there and do the exchange again, from USDC back to your original currency. That's
Mm,
something.
that is.
All without the use of a bank.
I'm sure MoneyGram is in other countries, so that means the other countries are going to be doing this. They have the same opportunities to do this
Yeah.
in like United States.
Yeah. Because it's MoneyGram, it says whatever their location, they're worldwide, 444,000 of them.
I mean, I like XRP too, but it seems like XLM is getting up there too. They neck and neck. I know they ain't compete with each other because XRP is for banks and XLM is for retail. So
Yeah.
it seems like XLM can do the exact same thing XRP does for banks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's another major win. Like it's all a part of the under the ISO 222 umbrella. So all of those tokens have utility, and so they all are important, and they all, I guess, do have a real world use case.
Right.
All right. All right. So our next topic, y'all, this is about IOTA. And that's IOTA. And IOTA is this utility is zero fee, sorry, microtransactions and communication between Internet of Thing devices. So this one is about IOTA launched a platform on the 21st, still in that date, that lets use a platform with a company called Swirl that lets users stake their IOTA while still using it. So basically, when you stake cryptocurrency, it's locked away. But this new system allows users tokens represent their IOTA stake. It gives users tokens that represent their IOTA stake that they can still use in other applications while earning rewards. So it just gives you, it doesn't just lock up you don't just have to just lock up your currency. You have another way through these other tokens to be able to earn something on your tokens while they're being staked.
Well, it seems like everything is leading to staking. I guess, a lot of banks, once they are bring into cryptocurrency, I'm sure they start allowing staking as well. Because staking is a good opportunity to have passive income every week. I know Uphold does staking.
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase does staking as well. But
Mm-hmm.
Uphold have a different, unique way of how they do it, and I kind of like how they do it.
Okay. All righty, cool. So like this is all great news in for all of these tokens. So let's keep going so we can keep flowing through our topics. So still on the 21st, y'all. XDC, but onto this one, right? So XDC, and I'm gonna just give you a little bit about that token. It facilitates tokenization and payments as smart contracts in the trade finance space. XDC launched XDC.cash, allowing users to convert their XDC tokens into local currency in over 100 currency. I mean, 100 current countries, Lord. All right. So this makes it much easier for people to turn their XDC cryptocurrency into real money they can use in your everyday life. And that's one of the biggest challenges of cryptocurrency. People saying, well, how can I use it? How can I use it? So we see between even with XLM and XDC, they're making it very easy for you to convert your cryptocurrency into your local fiat, your local dollar, your local currency, excuse me, whenever you need, based with these different options they're offering.
Now XTC is I always say a sleeper giant. I'd say all three XLM, XRP, and XDC they definitely are going to be major down the road. I think these ISO 222 tokens are major. I mean, major, major. And and just the thing about it, it's not a lot of XLM, it's not a lot of XDC. If you're talking about 100 countries, this only is using XDC. Could you
Mhm.
imagine once the volume start coming in and these things is taking off? That's going to be something to see because
Mm-hmm.
XDC I think it's going to be really geared to trading. Everything going to be digital, so everything going to have to go through XDC for trading. So that's going to be very, very, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
a big push for XDC down the
Yeah.
road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. So let's just change the date now. Let's move on to April 22nd. So this April 22nd, XRP came out, Ripple, they came out with some news, y'all. So Ripple came out saying that it won't go public or do an IPO in 2025. So that just means that the company won't be selling shares on the stock market and will remain a privately owned company. So before you like jump and be like all nervous about it, this just shows that Ripple is financially healthy and doesn't need to raise money through a public offering, giving investors, so it should give investors confidence in the company's stability because they're saying, listen, we good. We don't need to go public. We got enough money. We got enough liquidity. We don't need to do it.
Yeah, I saw what is that? A YouTube video of Monica Long, and when she's the president of Ripple, and she
Hmm.
stating that's one of the questions the guy asked her, was they going to go public, and she said no. She said most companies go public because they try to raise funds, but Ripple is sitting on about $2.2 billion in cash. So that's a lot of money. You say cash, that's a lot of money. So Ripple, they don't need it. You know, hey, with all this stuff going on with them, nah, they don't need to go public. I don't. I imagine they may go public in 2026, but I really doubt it because they don't need it. They've proven their point of what kind of company this is when they won the case in July 2023. So me, I don't think they need it.
Well, hey, they you just said you don't think they need it, and they came out and said for sure we don't.
Mhm.
We don't. So yeah, that I think that's a great thing. I mean, would it be nice to own stock in the company? Of course,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
but the company is saying, hey, currently we good.
right.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, a lot of companies can't say that. They
Hmm.
That's why they going to try to go IPO because they
Yeah.
can need to raise the funds.
And you know what? I was thinking too that think about this, that think about the inflation and how the price of things has gone higher. And even with paying higher prices for things, the company is still saying we good.
And they got plenty of job openings as well. So that should tell
Hmm.
leadership. And that's good. That's a good leadership.
Hmm. For sure.
Like you said, you can hire within a economy is going up and down. You know, we don't know
But
if
going up, the prices are going up.
right. We don't know if we're going to be in a recession and cutting rates or whatever case may be. You know, Ripple is still staying fast. So that's and they got plenty of job offer out there.
Right.
That says
Right.
a lot about this company.
It does. It does. So let's go on to April 23rd. We're moving up, moving closer to today's date. So April 23rd, we're going to talk about Quant. So Quant is a token that is required to use Overledger for interoperating blockchains. So it just provides interoperability between different blockchain networks and legacy systems targeting enterprise and banks. So that's what Quant is. So preparing April 23rd, Quant announced that it will participate in EBA Day, a major European banking conference. So in that, they would just showcase how their technology can help traditional banks integrate blockchain into their existing systems.
Uh,
So that's something.
I'm shaking my head because I don't think people know how important quant really is. Quant is the glue to everything. XRP, XLM, XDC need quant to hold everything together. They're the system of everything, and everything's going to actually run through quant going out. That's only 14 million quant. That's less than
Hmm.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin has 21 million. So
Hmm.
you can imagine it's only 14 million now. And you do the math.
Right.
You do
Yeah.
the
And
math and see how high quant gonna really go. I'm telling you,
right.
it's a sleeping giant, as they say. But
Another one, another sleeping giant.
yeah, but this one right here, people gonna eyes gonna pop outside their head when they see how high they. I'm being honest. I've been studying quant. I've been studying quant for like 3 or 4 years, and quant is a beast. I'm telling you. Once it get out there, and everything start running, people gonna wish they had bought some quant.
Yeah. And just think about that. It's like a bridge between the different blockchain networks, and it's an access token. So to access the bridge, you got to have quant.
I just what I told you. It gonna hold everything together.
Yeah, so this is so that if a token wants to get to this bridge, it's like you gotta have some quant to get over to this side. You go want to
Right.
go over this bridge, you gotta have some quant to get over to this side. So that's
Remember,
something.
ain't but 14 million. We know when they been used, that means they be burned and they've been
Mm-hmm.
taken out of circulation. Now, 14 million is not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a lot. So I'm just saying.
Right. Listen, and quant is not when you check out quant, if you haven't heard of that, it is QNT. And if you look on a exchange, you'll see this one
Coinbase.
ain't pennies. Coinbase, it ain't pennies. This one's
Oh
up
no,
there.
no, it's high.
Mm.
It's
It's
high.
it's under $100, but it ain't. It's like what I think last time I checked, it was 70 something dollars,
$75.
something like that
Yeah,
per token. So
yeah, that
yeah,
it ain't cheap now. It
right. Because
definitely ain't cheap.
right, people, like I said, this one is another one you should look into for yourself and research because like I said, think about every time if you want to cross blockchain networks, and every time you cross, you got to pay quant.
Or you got to have one. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got
yeah.
to pay in quant to cross.
Yeah, so that business is gonna have to. They're gonna have to jump in there because remember now, ain't but 14 million of them. So
Mhm.
somebody gonna have to be doing some fast buying.
Purchasing. Yes, right. That's right. As things continue to improve and cryptocurrency adoption goes up. Oh, and listen, y'all, we watched the movie, and I'm not promoting this movie. I'm just talking about the movie, so it's not an endorsement or anything. But we watched a movie called G20. I don't know if you've seen that. It's on Prime Video, which talked about um, cryptocurrency and about a cryptocurrency and having a wallet and that payments being issued in a cryptocurrency form. So just cryptocurrency is now being used in Hollywood to in their movies to show like, like it's to me that's just showing the credibility of crypto.
Yeah, well, they
It's like,
bringing it mainstream now. They're
right.
making it mainstream now.
Right, because in movies when they use they have scenes about people stealing money or ransoming off stuff. It will always be in like the local currencies, whatever that outlet that movie's being played in. The money that's involved in that movie would typically be that local currency or some fiat currency. But now cryptocurrency is being introduced in these movies, so pay attention. They're subtly, just like if you've ever seen movies that talked about a widespread pandemic. Remember, like you've seen those movies that talk about a wide before COVID happened, we would see movies about a widespread pandemic.
Right.
And so look, and then COVID happened. So now, and we're seeing now movies that talk about cryptocurrency being exchanged between countries and in the political systems and all this kind of stuff. So I'm saying that the movies are giving you like an indicator of what is happening.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
what's coming?
Hmm. Hmm. So I thought I'll throw that in there. All righty. What day we on? Okay, okay. I think it was on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the 23rd and go back to XDC for a second. XDC on the 23rd, XDC introduced a regulated index that tracks its value in US dollars. And so this just creates a official standardized way to measure XDC's value. Um, let's see. And so why is that important? Because it makes tracking XDC's value in US dollars, makes it globally relevant and institutionally attractive and compatible with mainstream finance. So it's just people are gonna because the US dollar currently is the most dominant currency and a lot of things are benchmarked on the US dollar. And so now the XDC is saying, okay, we're gonna give you a way to see our value benchmarked against the US dollar so that it can attract, global usage and adoption better. And it's being tracked. The index is called what's it called? Venter XFIN, and this Venter is VINTER XFIN XINFIN. So that's what it's called, and you can look at it on the Venter XFIN XDC index. You can check it out there. That is I think that company is based in the Swedish company headquartered in Stockholm. So, but just XDC ain't playing around. They said, listen, we getting out here, we getting to this space, we making our way, we pushing ourselves forward, and we going we're showing you the value and the utility, and we making things happen to get to where they want to be. Like I said, XDC is for tokenization and payments as smart track contracts in trade finance.
Right. Yeah. XTC ain't playing.
They not. They not. They moving on up. Moving on up
The
to the big leagues. Oh, I forgot that song. Who's that by?
Jeffersons. Huh?
The Jefferson. All right. So the 24th, April 24th. Um, XRP and CME Group plans XRP futures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So CME Group is the world's largest derivatives exchange, and they announced plans to launch XRP future contracts. And I already told you what future contracts were earlier. So this is just another one. So it further legitimizes XRP and just continues to open the door for institutional investors who previously avoided XRP.
Yeah, see, this is more. This is different than Coinbase features. This is the CME. So that tells you that things is moving quite frequently, real fast. Like I said, it's interesting to see what's going to happen because we still got 3 days left. I mean, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So we ain't done to see how April going to end.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now this one's on April 24th. I want to announce something. We don't typically do like price forecasting with any of the cryptocurrency. That's not our lane. But I wanted to share this that on the 24th, there was a crypto analyst that predicted XLM price could rise by 396% to $1.29. Prediction aren't guarantees, but that's something interesting because we just talked about. No, we haven't talked about we didn't talk about XLM tonight, have we?
Yeah, we talking
Okay,
about
okay.
that.
All right. So, but I just thought that was interesting. A price rise by 396%.
It's a lot.
That's a big rise, a big increase. Do you know what do you remember what XLM price was currently? Like,
Right now, I think it's like 25 cents, 26 cents.
okay, so they're saying they're thinking about that it could rise like $1 or some change.
That's a big jump.
That is. That is.
I mean, XRP, they might be right because XRP went from 50 cents to up to $3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was
Mm-hmm.
November, and went up all the way up to $3 by January. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a big jump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So the 25th, on the 25th of April, you said the president's name of Ripple is who? What's her name? Monica.
Monica Long.
So that's when she made the statement that she reaffirmed that the company would not go public in 2025 because they want to just focus on long-term goals without the pressure of quarterly earnings and reports that public companies face. So they want to keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
So right. So right. Don't want to be distracted. Let's see. So let's go on. Okay, I just talked about XLM. This is another thing. On April 25th, now I just said on 24th, a crypto analyst member. Okay, I'm going to talk about XLM again. And remember, I said on the 24th, an analyst predicted XLM's price could rise by 396%, right? Then on April 25th, XLM price actually did increase by 10%, approaching a golden cross pattern. So a technical pattern like this typically lead to further price increases.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so the day before, a prediction of a rise, and the next day, a 10% rise
Uh,
in
all right.
XLM.
We already know what XLM can do.
Right, right. All right, this is our last thing, guys. This back to XRP. So on April 25th, the SEC approved XRP-based investment funds. So the SEC approved 3 XRP future-based ETFs. All right, yay! That will begin trading on when? April the 30th. All right. And these investment products will trade on regular stock exchanges, allowing people to gain exposure into XRP's price movements through their normal brokerage accounts. That means you will not own XRP if you purchase an ETF. You will not own XRP. You will just be able to participate in the gain of the price increase or the loss if the price decrease. So you'll be just, like I said, investing on the up and down movement of the price, but you won't be an owner of XRP. And this is very significant, like I said, because mainstream investors who don't still want to trade or buy XRP, you don't have to. You can get exposure to XRP without buying the cryptocurrency directly. And then it also shows regulatory acceptance of XRP. And then it creates the bridge between traditional finance and cryptocurrency.
I'll tell you what, ever since Paul Atkins have took the chair, he is moving quickly, approving these ETFs. And for pro sharing going live on April the 30th, 'cause we know that Grayscale is next in line. Some other companies is next in line. From my understanding, there's 19 ETFs
Mm-hmm.
have been filed, and I think the 19th one is BlackRock.
All
So
right.
yeah, so we already know that once BlackRock get in, same thing what happened to Bitcoin. Bitcoin last year ETF went live, I think January the 6th, the 5th or 6th.
Mm-hmm.
In 30 days, Bitcoin was jumped up over $10,000. They was at 60,000, they went to 70,000.
Hmm.
In 3 months, they was at 90,000. So they went up in 3 months. They went up $30,000. So it's gonna be now, and they only have, if I'm not mistaken, they only have three companies that had Bitcoin ETF, and Ethereum had only one ETF. Now we talking about XRP having 19.
And the first one, it's interesting to see what the price movement of XRP will be like when this first one starts trading on April the 30th.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a couple of weeks to a month to see the benefit. But I'm just more in thinking in tune of 19. Just remember, like 19 ETF that's going to be approved. So
Well,
with that price, because they have to own XRP in order to sell it to their on their funds. I mean, I'm sorry, not their funds.
CME will have to own it. Yeah,
Yeah,
CME, like the person that is providing the ETF, will actually own the underlying asset that's in the ETF. So yes, they will purchase it. So
yeah.
what
So
I'm
they,
saying is that yeah,
mhm.
they have to purchase it. So what I'm saying is that when people start buying the ETF and they get, so I think it's a ripple effect. CME has to have it to have to establish the ETF. The customers want more of the ETF. They may need more XRP to continue to
Right.
service the ETF as more people start buying it. And then when the exchange or the hedge fund or whoever keeps buying the underlying asset to facilitate people buying into their ETF, what does that do? That is causing more demand for the underlying asset. So that means that it's going to push up the price of the underlying asset. And think about this. What if whales start getting in and buying it on ETFs, like buying into ETFs? Because they may like, okay, I want to see what this XRP is all about. And they start investing through the ETF versus purchasing it. So that still makes the underlying, the person who is, selling the ETF, makes them have to have the underlying asset, enough of it to support whatever percentage each person is buying into.
I think that what's going to may happen. This is my guess is
Mhm.
that because we don't forget about Japan saying that they'll be using Ripple this year. They
Mhm.
hadn't started yet, but they said 80% of their banks of Japan will be using XRP for cross-border payments. So you
Mhm.
got to understand there's a limit number of XRP. Even though they said it's 100 billion, it's not 100 billion. It's lower because they can't count the ones that Ripple has, and
Mhm.
that's kind of taken out. They can
Mhm.
only count the ones that's been at these exchanges that they have brought. So
Mhm.
they gonna have to, in order to get XRP, they might have to go through these exchanges and buy them up. If they buying them up, then that means there won't be none left on these exchanges. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a supply shock.
But it's not. But it's not. They can't buy XRP in the ETF because they won't own it. Like there's no. When you purchase the ETF, you don't own XRP. Only like that's like me saying I have an ETF. I own the asset, and you participate in my asset through a percentage. But you don't own XRP. I do.
No, I'm not saying they will, but the people who have to, they're going
Purchase
to have
it.
to purchase it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then bring it to their platform so they can use the AETF. But
Yeah. Correct.
what I'm saying is you got 19 companies, all of them
Trying to do that.
they trying to do that. Then you're gonna have Japan. 80% of their banks gonna have to use XRP. That means they're gonna have to buy more XRP.
XRP.
This is just a small amount. We haven't even got to the 1,700 NDAs that Ripple has.
Mm-hmm.
Ripple have over 500 banks
Yeah.
that's already connected to Ripple, and they're gonna have to use XRP. That's why I said it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a supply shock because they got to use it.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
have to use it daily because Ripple's supposed to be used 365 days a year. So every time you use it, it's being burnt.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about RLUSD too as well. So they're gonna be
Yeah.
working with Ripple as well. Every time RLUSD is being minted, I
Mm-hmm.
mean XRP gonna be burnt.
Well, listen. Now we have gave y'all a lot of information and about several of these ISO 222 coins. So as we always say, do your own research. We are not financial advisors. We are just providing you with information that we hope that will help you in your journeys to understanding the crypto space better and understanding the utility of the ISO 22 coins. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and let us know what your thoughts are about what we shared. And if you have any interesting news, maybe that we didn't mention for this week, share that too with the community. And then lastly, if you would like, you can join our Patreon community. We just had a live event last week where we go live and chat with the community directly and get their insights and give them more information. And then we also on our Patreon share these in-depth crypto guides where you're able to access those if you are at a certain level in the community. So we hope that you'll join us there so that we can continue to stay connected and stay connected even closer in our Patreon. You got anything, Sean, before we head out?
I just want to say we thank you and appreciate you for watching our videos. We thank all the likes. We thank all the comments you have shared down the road. We thank for all the subscribers who have actually subscribed to us. We just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our heart.
Yes, thank you so much. And we hope that we're providing you with some value. And listen, as we always say, let's break these barriers and deal and build for our families, creating legacy for ourselves. All right, guys, let's get out there and make it happen. Have a great one.
Peace.